Hi there. So this is my first vlog. I kind of like the idea behind having a video to kind of document things. Really not sure if this is going to make it to anybody but me, but it'll be fun to watch regardless. Um, a couple of years ago, I was really led um, to start making quilts for my refuge house. And I've never done that. I am, um, I always make myself too busy. I mean, I am busy. I work full time, a single mom. Um, Now I'm doing roller derby with my son, and I'm treasurer and secretary of his roller derby team and all of the drama that is involved in that. Honestly, I love the kids. I love every single one of those kids, but something I've definitely learned over the last few months is it's really the parents that make it. I'm not going to say not worth it because it is, um, but kind of like with everything else in life, you just have to learn. You just have to choose your battles. Like with my son, I have to choose which battles. Like, is it okay if he goes to school in pink polka dots and orange stripes? I don't care if he wants to look dumb. That's his choice. Um, you know, I have to learn to pick my battles, and I have to learn um, how close to let people sometimes, because just because they're good people doesn't mean they always need to be, my best friends. I have a couple of those, and they are beautiful and awesome people who have my back through thick and thin, and they have a couple of them have been there for 20 years. One's been there for 15 years. No, 10 years. So really, I think I got the best friend thing done. So it's just learning to pick my battles, and it's a lesson that God is leading me through. But anyway, so I'm kind of stubborn. That's the story of my life. Um, I was kind of passive aggressively stubborn as a kid, but I kind of just become really just stubborn, admittedly stubborn as an adult. um, but I make myself too busy. I watch too much TV, get myself involved in all the things that aren't life giving, and that's kind of sad. Um, but I've decided to make the change. I am now changed. I've started putting actual effort towards this. Nobody knows about it yet. This is why I'm not going to release this video anywhere until these are actually all done, because something that I hate doing is saying, yeah, I'm totally going to do that. And then I don't. And then I feel really bad. So, be that as it may, that is where I am. I am each house from my refuge house. Oh, anyway, back to my refuge house. If you don't know what that is, it is an organization that builds houses, safe houses for girls in the Philippines who are rescued from sex trafficking. They have 3 houses now, I think. Our church has actually built one of them, helped them build one of them. So that's really awesome. One of the pastor's wives in our church, who is so precious. I could just stick her in my pocket and take her out every morning and let her do Bible study with me and keep me on track. Oh my gosh, precious, just absolute precious. Anyway, her name is Kim Jones. She is part of my refuge house, and she travels there quite a bit, a few times a year. She works for them quite a bit here. So she does this thing every year, this benefit every year, that helps. raise funds to go towards the house and what the girls need. But there are 12 girls in each house, and I want to make 12 quilts, and that is a lot of work. But I love to quilt. I started quilting about 5.5 years ago. After I quit smoking on my son's birthday, and he is very proud of me, and I'm very proud of me. So um, I just needed something to do with my hands, and my grandmother quilted, and I've always wanted to, but never have found the time till I quit smoking. So a lot of my quilting that I do now is people paying me, but this is something that I've really wanted to do, and it's always stuck around. So I think I'm going to start watching less TV, and I am going to start actually quilting. It's going to be exciting. I've chosen 12 words, and each of those words are going to be quilted a into a quilt. And my son helped me choose a couple. See what those are. The words that I have are hope, grace, beloved, cor- excuse me, courageous, cherished, precious, redeemed, chosen, set apart, forgiven, warrior, and good. I know that good one. I mean, that seems so small. Like when you just look at that word compared to all those other big words like redeemed and beloved, but I think I struggle with feeling good. It's a struggle because I'm not always good. I don't always use the best language. I don't have a lot of patience. I feel forgotten. I don't feel good. So it's a big word. It's a big word with only 4 letters. It's the good kind. So I don't have to ask for forgiveness for using. Um, so those are my words. And I know that through all of that, um, through all the quilting that I get to do with this, I know God is going to use those words in my life in each for whatever, it's not. I know that me wanting to bless those girls um, with those quilts, God will use them in bigger ways than just, oh, it's a quilt, it's pretty, thanks. Um, he'll use them in big ways. He'll use those to reach those hearts that have been recklessly used and abused in ways that should never happen to a human being, let alone a little girl. So I pray, Jesus, bless the work of my hands. Use these words to speak to my soul and to the soul of those girls that you have already predestined, that you already have in mind. And that despite my own willful disobedience, that Lord, you had this timing already, and it was already perfect, and it was already destined. So Lord, use me, use the work of my hands, the gifts that you've given me, the resources that you've given me. Lord, just help me. Help me to pray into these quilts, the things that these girls are going to use to conquer this world for your for you. It's in Jesus' name I pray. So, I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to start with hope. It's a great place to start. It's a great place to start. So for anybody who watches this and start with hope. It's the best place to start. And go love somebody. Don't love them the way you think they need to be loved, in a vengeful way. Just go love somebody because they're human and because they're flawed and because they're doing their best. Extend grace and forgiveness even when they don't deserve it. Go love someone.